Hello everybody, my name is Jesse, welcome to Car Gaming, and I am so excited to finally bring this video, and happy holidays to everybody, because it is December now, and I'm just super excited. So, I've been wanting to bring this deck before to you guys for a good while. I haven't been able to put it together, but I figured today is finally the day, so let's just go ahead and do it and get into it. It's basically Shenron Apes, or as I like to call it, Arrival Apes, but nobody knows what I mean when I say Arrival, and I say Arrival because it is the Dragonball and Miraculous Arrival Shenron, both of which I think are awesome. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, so it's Shenron. Everybody kind of knows what Shenron does. You either draw a card, play a Desire card for free, or you get to use the ultimate, which is basically you remove 7, pick one of your battle cards, give it triple attack, etc., etc. You know what I mean. So that's why I kind of wanted to start with this setup. We have the Shenron and the 7 Dragon Balls. Your deck is going to consist of that, and any Shenron deck you play is going to consist of that. You can, if you want to, play the 1-star, 2-star ball, which is completely up to you. I would recommend a 4-3 split on that. 4 Dragon Balls, 3 1-star balls. I just play all 7 Dragon Balls. I like to draw a lot. That's just me. It has some issues against the Janemba matchup, but we have ways to fix that and go around that. Really just playing around. So, guys, if you like this deck profile, just let me know down in the comments below. I'd really appreciate it. Any concerns, please just feel free to let me know. I'm always down to answer questions, anything like that. I think the deck is really fun, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get into the rest of the deck. So, we got that. I will leave that there. So, for the apes, we got... So, I got, bam, 2 Absolute Defense, Great Ape Vegeta. Obviously, Heart and Soul of the deck makes all your 10Ks free, because most of your 10Ks are Saiyans. I think almost all your 10Ks are Saiyans. All your apes are free, etc., etc. And then we got, bam, 4 Great Ape Prince Vegeta. Who he is another great 10K. He's critical blocker, and he goes ahead and grabs another ape for you if you combo or play him. And then 3 Bardock this time. I don't play the 4 because early game you don't want it to clog your hand too much. It's okay if you use one as energy or whatever, but like the issue that I kept running into was like playing too many 10Ks will really hurt you if you don't have your Absolute Defense Great Ape King Vegeta out, so you really just don't want that to happen. So I just decided to cut him down. It's not that big of a deal. You still play plenty of apes, so... Go ahead and do that. And then we had, bam, 2 Lord of the Grapes, King Vegeta. Another great card. Searches any of your apes. Mainly you're going to go for your Absolute Defense Great Ape so you can play him in turn 3. That's your big thing. And I'll show you guys that at the end of the video. That's really your big plays with him. And then we got 2 Explosive Spirits on Goku. And I like him a lot too. Explosive Spirit is one of my favorite cards. And really the reason we're playing him is for recursion. I was only playing the Lord of the Grapes, but what ended up happening was that I kept using Child's Wish, and like I kept drawing it dead, so I was like, I wish I had another card in here that I could just play, and that way I really didn't have to worry about anything like that. Like I didn't have to worry about dead Child's Wishes late game, because, you know, what am I going to do with him after I evolve him and everything? I guess I could play the other one to grab another 8, but then you're getting too many decks, too many cards out of the deck, and it's all bad against Janemba. But he's a blocker barrier. He restands when he attacks. I mean, he's just all good all around. Child's Wish just gives such good recursion with him. So I absolutely recommended playing 2 of him. And then one of my favorite cards in this whole deck, one of my favorite cards in the set actually for set 5, Black Saiyan the Devastator. I love this card. He is so amazing. He's critical, and you basically swing with him. And if they don't take the damage, obviously if they block, then they're not going to, his effect's not going to trigger, but literally anything else, his effect will trigger, and they'll just have to warp a life. And it's so great. You literally give him triple attack with Shenron, and you attack 3 times when they're at 3 life, and if they have no blockers, then you just win the game. It is amazing, and I love it. And it's actually, we board the 4th one, and that's what we actually use against Janemba, because Janemba, we're really not going to be able to push him down fast enough for us to... be able to really, you know, before we deck out. So you're really just going to want to try to get him down to 3 and then use him. That's going to be like your quick play. That's it. You're trying to win as fast as possible against Janemba. It's all, you're racing against the clock, essentially. So after that, we play 3 Unbreakable Super Saiyan Son Gokus, and he's obviously just another draw card. I just didn't want to end up drawing too many cards, because that has been an issue before, especially against Janemba. You're taking too many cards out of the deck, and so we're just opting with the 3 this time. 3 is plenty too, trust me. You really don't need the 4. You can play the 4 if you want, though. There's really nothing wrong with that. It's just I like the 3, personally. So we got 4 Temporal Rescue Trunks, and he's the super combo of the deck. And I love it because finally we can play another deck again where Planet Vegeta searches your super combo, which is always just really, really, really good. Like, it's so good being able to just search your super combo like that. And since he can be used whenever you have 5 cards in your drop area, it's even better because, like, even though maybe Shugesh and stuff weren't always live, he is literally always live, especially if you just have your Dragon Balls and everything. It's so good. He's probably one of the best super combos I've ever played, honestly. Now we get to some of the fun stuff. So for the last 2 Saiyans, we play 1 Ghost Attack Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. And the reason we play him is that you can combo him for free. He's in free 10k. Or you just on turn 5, you world peace him back for free. You get 3 Ghost tokens. You don't have to play him. In my build, I like playing him because I think he's really great. I really like just getting to turn 5 and world piecing him back. And then a little less common, but it does happen in a slower matchup, is the 1 Gogeta Hero Revive. This card is insane, especially when you can get it back in a deck where you're not even supposed to be playing it. You just world piece it back at 7 energy. Like, it's so good. So you play it, it's got triple attack, it shuffles their hand back, they draw 3 cards. I mean, the card is just overall nuts. Like, you just have to play it. Obviously, the Gotenks comes out a lot more, because you get to turn 5 a lot more than you get to turn 7, but those slower games, especially mirror matches and stuff, where you do get to turn 7, he's incredible. And I would never trade him out because he's just so good. Obviously against Storm or something, he would come out for maybe another like Ghost Attack or something, or honestly, probably the 3 job, you're just trying to rush him as fast as you can. They'll kill themselves, so... we play 1 Shenron Figure of Majesty. The card is really great, but again, whenever you activate his effect, you have to draw, and you're just trying to minimize, I guess, what you're getting out of your deck, just because so many people are playing Janemba, and stuff like that. So that's really what it comes down to. But I mean, I could not play him because he was just so good. Like, I had to put him in the deck. I really did. And then lastly, 1 Fu Shrouded Mystery. I absolutely adore this card. I think he's great. You know, just being able to go for that final push, maybe using Shenron's ability on something else, and then warping your drop area, playing him as like on turn 6 or whatever. Just, oh, it's so good. And he is the last battle card that we are playing, and that is all the battle cards. It is a battle card heavy deck, of course. And then we're going to go ahead and move on to the extra cards. So for extra cards, we play 3 Planet Vegeta. Card is amazing and crucial. We only play 3 though because I don't really want to overdraw at extra cards. There's already a lot of different, you really want to draw more battle cards than anything, and I felt like most of the time I play 1 and then charge the other 3 anyway, so I thought cutting 1 would just help out ratios a bit, and it really did. As to me not drawing Planet Vegeta over and over and over again, you're already drawing a ton in this deck anyway, so you'll more than likely see it. It is crucial to see, but I mean, if you want to in your build, if in your testing you find that you're just not seeing it often enough, definitely bump it up to 4. Maybe cut like a Gotenks or the Gogeta, something like that. So that's really up to you. It's player preference at that point, but I like the 3. And then we got 2 Battering Laser, and the 2 Battering Laser, it's to stop counters. You gotta stop counters now are just insane with Dimension Magic, and you know, if you're going against another yellow deck, being able to stop Flying Nimbus is so crucial sometimes. So I really enjoy this card. I hope they print more counter type cards, obviously. Then we play 2 March of the Great Ape. Once again, I actually don't really play this card that much. I was playing it at 3, and I cut it down to 2. Because what ended up happening is I really didn't want to draw that much. I ended up drawing, the deck already draws so much that, again, having to draw 2 actually hurt me a bit sometimes, especially, again, in the Janemba matchup. So I only play the 2 March because, really, with all the recursion in the deck, you're just getting back Apes from the grave a lot more than you are marching them into play anymore. But I still really enjoy March, and I think that there are opportunities where being able to take that advantage is important. So I still play the card, and I would still play it at 2. But again, that's all personal preference, so if you want to play it at 3 or 4, it's all warranted. But I would say you're getting, it's going to be a lot of extra cards at that point as well. So... and then we play 3 Nimbus because, again, I was drawing it too much and found I didn't need it as much. And I found myself mostly charging 2 when I was playing 4 anyway. So 3 Nimbus, it's always good. That is actually the only 3 counters I play in the deck, though. I don't play Power Burst or anything. I do board it. So we play 3 World Peace for the Desire cards and 3 Child's Wish, and those are the last 6 cards of the deck, and these are super crucial to the deck. These is all the recursion. The deck is entirely focused on recursion, and it's so important to the deck. So yeah, I mean, it's so good. I love it, and I love playing this deck. It's so fun. Especially, you guys should definitely give it a try. So, really quick, I am going to go over the sideboard. This is just what I board in particular. People were telling me that, you know, when you go on DBS decks and stuff like that, it's kind of difficult just because they don't really post boards. They don't know what to sideboard and stuff like that. So I thought I'd go over my sideboard, explain it a little bit, and it would just basically help newer players kind of think about what they're trying to sideboard, or the process of sideboarding, essentially. So, for the first thing, sideboarding, whenever you're sideboarding, you always want to sideboard for the event that you're going to, the locals that you're attending, or the event that you're attending, because really, it just depends on the matchups, too. Like, if you have certain matchups that you think you're weaker against, you should board for those matchups, of course. You know, and if you find that certain matchups are tougher, if you find certain matchups that you just can't seem to win, look at different cards that maybe stop those matchups, or cards that push your deck in the direction that can beat that matchup. That's really important. So, for example, the deck is really weak against the Janemba matchup. So we play Dangerous Journey Bulma because it's the only card we really have right now that can play with Shenron and recurs cards back into the deck, which is really important for the deck. So obviously we have to play just the one. One, because I don't own anymore, and two, because I really don't think you need any more. I guess I'd probably play like 2 or 3, but I definitely wouldn't play like a playset or anything like that. As good as the card is, it puts 3 cards back, you draw a card, so it gets you even. It's not exactly a plus, but like they're still milling you, but it just gives you a little longer, and sometimes you just need that extra turn or two, which is really important. And then after that, we play Black Mesa, the Devastator. This is another card against Janemba, and the reason we use this specifically against Janemba, we play it in the main, is because we can give it triple attack. We get them down to 3, we give it triple attack. They have no blockers. We swing, 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 and then because they'll either take the damage, or if they combo out of it or counter it, then what's going to happen is it's going to warp their life. And by warping their life, obviously, you're going to win the game because it has triple attacks. You swing 3 times, they have to take 3 damage, and if they're at 3 life, well, congratulations, you just won the game. And against Janemba, time is everything. You just want to win as fast as you can. It's so important. And then here we have, on the other side of the board, Shenron, Figure of Majesty. And the reason we play this is because you want this for longer matchups. If I'm playing against another Shenron build, I'm playing against a deck that I know is going to take a little longer to set up, then I want the Shenron because I want to see Shenron a little more because he's much better in longer games than he is in shorter games. You're going to get more value out of him without killing yourself, which is really, really important. Then we play 2 Battering Laser, and then we play 2 Deadly Defender Gokus. This is great against matchups that are trying to kill you by turn 3. If you're going first especially, you know, this will really even out the playing field. If you're playing Apes, I mean, literally, you know, just get your Apes out plus this guy. I mean, they're going to have a tough time getting around it. You're going to have nothing but 10Ks that combo for free in your hand. They're really not going to get around him that easily, so he's really good. And you'll board him in against really just faster matchups. I wouldn't board him in against like Janemba or anything like that. And then 2 Power Burst. Once again, like you would board this in for like Storm or something like that because you just need more counters, more ways to take life if they're hitting you with criticals. I mean, there's so many variants of Shenron. Who knows, you know, these are just good cards to have in general. So you really want to just, you know, have that utility. Same thing with the 3 Sun Goten Family of Justice, is because you just want to be able to pop their blockers and stuff like that, especially if they don't have barrier. 16 can be an issue sometimes, so can Yajirobe. So you know, this is just in here for if you see that, you know, it's just for you to be able to have the answer for it, you know, and it combos for free, again, if you have the absolute defense out, and if not, that's alright. I mean, you just use your energy for it. We have 2 Kami. This is for boards that, you know, like veggies and stuff like that. They like to get crazy big boards and you just don't have a lot to deal with it. Well, Kami will just wipe their board right off the face of the earth. And then the extra Ghost Attack Super Saiyan 3, because again, in certain matchups, you just want the second one. He's a lot better. And that's really what it comes down to. And a lot of people were saying, well, what happens when you get your absolute defense out? You know, you're playing your Apes and then they Kami you. Well, they can only Kami you, right? So they can only really Kami you if you have 4 more battle cards out. So you only play the Absolute Defense Great Ape King Vegeta, then you play your Great Ape Prince Vegeta, your Great Ape Bardock, and then you just sit on that for the rest of the game. You have Planet Vegeta, I mean, what more do you want? Don't attack with your Absolute Defense if you think they have Mafuba, And if they do have Mafuba, try to bait it. If you have a battering laser, swing into it, battering their Mafuba, and you know, just get it out of the way. It's so good, like, to be able to play like that and bait your opponent and stuff like that. And I think that makes it so crucial. And Shenron's like one of the best leaders I think ever, because there's so many different builds around him, so many ways you can just play the game around Shenron. It's so versatile, so unique, and so cool. That's why, you know, Kami is really not an issue for that reason. And let's say they do end up wiping your board. Kami does only hit battle cards that are cost 4 or less, so your absolute defense Great Ape King Vegeta is fine. It's still not going anywhere, which is really what you want. It's what you want on board most of the time, but you're really just going to play the 3, and that's pretty much it. So guys, that is the deck list. That is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I had a great time. I'm just, oh god, it's so cool. I really do love this deck. Like, it's just so fun to play. Try it at home and see if you guys like it, you know, make your own variants. Apes are so versatile. I think they just, you know, as many people say, they just never want to die. And it's just so cool. One of the biggest plays, and I said I'd show you guys, really, so what you're really doing is it all comes down to Lord of the Grapes. And what you're really trying to do here is basically, because Shenron's ability lets you play desire cards for free, you just Child's Wish back the Lord of the Grapes on turn 3. You put them in your, obviously you put them in your grave. So like, ideally you'd want to Planet Vegeta turn 1. Obviously, get your Dragon Balls in the graveyard as fast as possible. Turn 2, you pretty much do whatever you want. Spend that turn trying to really set up everything. And then by turn 3, Child's Wish, bring back Lord of the Grapes. When Lord of the Grapes comes into play, search out your Big Ape, Mr. King Vegeta himself. So yeah, you want to bring out, bam, so you want to get your Big Ape, and then you'll have, because it's turn 3, you'll have your 3 energy, you'll evolve him, and bam, you have a turn 3 absolute defense Great Ape King Vegeta. And it's, you know, people ask me, you know, why do apes work? I mean, apes will always work, I think, in a format where you can get him out turn 3. If he can come out turn 3, they will be viable in said format, I think. If you cannot get him out turn 3, I think the deck ends up being just a little too slow. That's not to say that, you know, in certain games, there are games where you won't get him out turn 3, you can still win, of course. But it's so crucial to get him out turn 3 to be ahead of your opponent. And it's so integral to what the deck wants to do that that's pretty much the whole point of the deck, is to get him out turn 3, so. And you could technically Child's Wish in turn 2, but you just have to hope that your opponent doesn't have anything to pop him, and really that's just not a good way to do it, because if they, for whatever reason, maybe have enough for like a Dimensional Banisher Fu or something like that, I mean, they'll just get rid of him and your plan's in the dumpster. So I think it's just better to wait till turn 3 just to make sure your play goes off, personally. But guys, let me know what you think down in the comments below, please. I'd love to know your thoughts. Let me know if you guys have tried the deck yet, if you've had any luck, you know, playing it, testing it, how you've done with it. Just let me know. I'd love to hear from you guys. This was Card Power Gaming. My name was Jesse, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time.